Welcome back, everybody, to our program Breaking Through, where we're going to share real stories of people that, in the midst of sadness, pain, and loss, they found themselves the meaning of life. Each story recounts the love and mercy of God being manifested through them. And today we have a very interesting topic, and we are excited to share. How are you, Ingrid?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Janice. Yes. It's so awesome to be here today. Thank you to our viewers out there for joining us today in this special topic that we're going to share. And first of all, before we go into the topic, I want to introduce you to our special guest, our lovely friend, Aida Benguissie. How are you, Aida?
I'm well. Thank you, Ingrid and Janice,
Yes.
and Breaking Through viewers for having me. My name is Aida Benguissie. I am a social work student at George Mason University, pursuing my graduate degree, and I'm here to talk about stress.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
very relevant topic for a lot of us.
That is correct. Thank you so much, Aida. We're so excited because, as you say, we're going to talk about stress, and I believe that our viewers are going to relate to this topic because it is very personal to all of us. There is no one out there that can say that they have never been into stress, but we're going to go into details and see what what stress really is. But before we go into our topic, I just want to remind our viewers to follow us on Facebook, Breaking Through, Romper Barreras, or you can also send us an email if you want to write us, share your stories. Remember that this program has been dedicated to all of you that would like to share your stories, and we bring special guests so we can, you can relate to the stories. Our email is rf.breakingthrough@gmail.com. So just remember to send us your emails, and we'll be very happy to hear from you. All right. So,
right.
Are we ready for this?
We're ready to talk about stress today.
Yes. So, what's stress, Aida?
So oftentimes we hear about stress as if it's this negative thing.
Right.
But physiologically, stress is very natural. It's it's a very basic response that our body has to an outside threat or an everyday demand that we might encounter. During a stressful event, or when you are encountered with a threat, your body releases hormones called adrenaline and cortisol, and those hormones trigger your body's emergency response system. So basically your body gets ready by quickening your heartbeat, it pounds faster, your muscles tighten, your blood pressure rises, your senses become sharper. So basically you become stronger, you're more focused to react.
Right. And you said that stress, sometimes we talk about stress in a negative way, but there is a positive way then. Stress is good for us.
Evolutionarily, that's how we've survived as a species, because we've learned this. We have this automatic fight or flight response.
Okay.
So we know quickly whether we need to face this trial or do we need to run away.
Right. Okay. So what could be some of the negative things that can happen when we're dealing with stress? What are some of the negative things about stress?
So when stress becomes too much, when it gets out of control, you become overwhelmed. It starts, of course, affecting your personal life, your work life, to your relationships, to the point where you can't focus, you can't function. And that's when you know it's taken over.
That is too much. It's too much for us.
If people get super overwhelmed,
they become overwhelmed. It starts manifesting in their body, headaches, pain. It could come out in skin conditions, high blood pressure, heart disease, so many health issues that it affects. Cancer.
Wow.
The digestive system?
The digestive system, ulcers.
Okay.
Yes, certainly.
High blood pressure?
Yeah.
Diabetes?
When it's out of control, it can be quite dangerous.
People start losing their hair.
People react differently, yes.
That's right.
Certainly.
So when do we know that is too much? When do we know that that stress is not helping us, but is destroying us? When do we know it's bad for us?
So we all react differently. Sometimes the way you cope with stress can be unhealthy. So when you're trying to avoid the stress, some people turn to substance use. They avoid friends and family. They isolate themselves.
Yes, and that's a big one. That's a big one, that when you're stressful, you feel like, I'm just going to walk away or isolate myself.
Or carry this on my own.
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't want to burden others. And that can be counteractive.
Okay.
And, nowadays we're seeing Netflix and binge, or binging on Netflix, or binging on, ice cream or what have you. And
Overeating.
right, those things feel good in the short term,
But then it
but
hurts you down the road.
because it doesn't resolve the source of stress, unfortunately. Right.
And talking about people isolating themselves, in which that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Because then they don't get the help they need.
Right, that's your support network.
Yeah.
These are people that are there for you, and two minds work better than one. You
That's
have more
true.
resources
Yes,
than you
yes.
think. So
Yes.
it's good to share with people who are important.
Wow, that's very important, because I'm pretty sure that our viewers out there understand what stress is. And sometimes, we live in a society where we're so busy. We're constantly doing. There's a lot of demanding.
Yes.
And that causes a lot of stress.
Yes.
That we have to keep up with everything. So how can we help our viewers to manage stress? Is there such thing as manage stress?
Yes.
How can we manage
Healthy
stress?
ways of coping.
Okay, so
Yes.
what would be some of the healthy ways?
So a good way to start is just identifying what your sources of stress are.
Okay, so where is coming from?
Where it's coming from. Having that
causing?
awareness.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know
Becoming in tune with yourself, because we're so used to running on a routine.
In time, everything has to be like timed. Like since you wake up in the morning.
Right.
Right.
And if you don't do that, you don't go to a place at a certain time, you're already stressing out.
That's right.
Right.
If you don't eat at a certain time, you're already stressing out.
We
So
hold
it
ourselves
is-
to impossible standards.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. So now, as a community and millions of people that suffer of stress, we want to find out what can we do
To manage.
to manage it,
Right.
make it better.
Right. Oftentimes, like you said, you have so many responsibilities. You two are working moms.
Oh,
Yes.
You have extracurricular activities. And I know that a lot of times women put themselves last on their list.
Yes.
But in order to function so you are good for everyone else, you need to take care of yourself first. You need to make yourself a priority.
Wow.
Having that 5 minutes of relaxation, it doesn't have to be this huge vacation time that you need to take, but something you can incorporate in your daily life is important, whether it be prayer, meditation, having that cup of tea in the morning, having that alone time where
Yes.
you need to shut out all the noise.
5 minutes at least.
Yeah.
So you said something about, do it on a daily basis to avoid getting to the extreme where you explode.
Right.
So what you're saying that every day we should take that time just for us.
For
The more
ourselves.
practice you get, like anything else, the better you get. And the more you can use those coping skills when you need them. That's right. Just like a sport, if you not doing that training or exercising
You're not
every
gonna
day,
function.
you're not going to win that marathon.
Right.
You're not going to do well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's very important when you say, take care of yourself, because sometimes you did mention that sometimes we put ourselves in the bottom of the list, and we have to make ourselves a priority. And
Yes.
I know as a woman, I'm very busy. We're always busy. We have our agendas packed of activities. And sometimes we don't think about ourselves, you know, taking care of ourselves. And like you said, it doesn't have to be a big vacation. It doesn't have to be, you know, a huge event that you're doing for yourself. Right. Maybe you can't go to a spa. You can't go to the salon and get your nails done or get your hair done. But you can do small things.
You can do it at home.
Right.
You can wear your favorite perfume, your favorite nail polish.
My
do
favorite
your hair
hot,
the way
hot
you like.
cocoa.
Oh, yeah?
Hot chocolate with marshmallows in the top.
What about the ice cream? Is that good or no? Too much sugar?
You know, everything in moderation. You know yourself.
So yeah. So it's whatever makes you feel good about yourself.
Yes.
You know, taking care of yourself, because like you say, if we don't take care of ourselves, how are we going to take care of others?
Yes.
Because we don't have the strength to help others, and that is very important.
Yes.
And I know some of my viewers probably are saying, but you know, it's hard to take care of myself, it's so much to do. But honestly, we won't be able to function correctly if we don't take care of ourselves. So that is very important.
Yes.
That is very important. What other things can we do to cope in a healthy way? How can we manage stress?
So I like to say, pick your battles. There are things in your life that you have control over, and you can plan to figure out how you can take care of them. And then there's things that you do not have control over, and you have to accept them.
Wow.
You have to learn, you have to practice to let it go, or give it to God.
Amen.
Let it go and give it to God. I like that.
I like that. And I think that's the hardest part. You know, that sometimes it's the hardest part, because we learned how to try to fix everything. I don't know if there's some fixers out there, but Ingrid, I relate a lot with being trying to fix. Having that control. And you say you can get stressed when you don't have that control, but learning how to let go, that is so important.
Yes.
And like you say, it's a practice. You have to do it all the time, you know, give it to God, because at the end of the day, like you said, there's certain things that you can manage, but there's other things that you can't. And sometimes we stress about the things that we can't do,
don't have control
instead of using that stress to use that energy to do the things that we can do.
That's right. Yes.
And that is very important.
And pick your battles, like you say.
Pick your battles.
You gotta measure what is really important, what things that you really don't need, and start focusing, right?
Start focusing on what's important to you. Use your time in things that you find valuable. A lot of times I think we have where we get drowned in the noise. We're involved in things that don't really matter to us. We think we have to do it all. But
because everybody is doing it.
Right.
So we might think we have to do it. You know, like getting that phone or getting that laptop or getting that, you know, because society is demanding you to get this thing. So people get stressed. Oh my God, you know, I have to get this. I have to get that. And we stressed about things that don't really matter, like you said. They don't really matter. You know, we're so constantly worried about material things more than we can worry about our own bodies, taking care of ourselves.
Our own inner peace, right?
Inner peace. Yes.
Wow. What else we can do to cope with stress?
So an easy skill that I like to teach is deep breathing. When we're stressed, when we're anxious, we tend to breathe in our chest.
Okay.
These are tight, quick breaths, and that sends a signal to our brain that says, be prepared, there's something dangerous happening. So ladies, especially, we like to tighten our tummy muscles, but you need to let go. You need to breathe deeply into your tummy.
Okay.
Breathe in through your nose. Fill that belly up and breathe out through your mouth.
Oh, okay.
And you do that a couple times a day. Of
That's
course,
nice.
It may feel unnatural at first, but we have to get practiced. It sends more oxygen to your brain. It encourages you to be more focused in the moment, more present.
Wow. That's
So
very
you said
important.
breathe through your nose and exhale through your mouth.
Exhale through your mouth. When you
Okay.
breathe in,
I was
you
doing
can...
it backwards. But
Oh, okay.
I got it.
When you breathe in, you can think of some affirmations that you like to tell yourself that
that's
calms
good.
you. When you breathe out, you let go of
The
all that
anger,
negative
the
energy,
negative things.
all that negative self-talk that we
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
that we do to ourselves.
Yeah.
We can be our own worst enemies sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know, women, especially for us women, you know, we tend to do that all the time. Self-talk, negative self-talk. And what would be some of the things that we can say as positive to ourselves?
Yes, yes.
What,
Talk to ourselves.
Yeah, how can we talk to ourselves?
Yeah,
so
I
we're
mean-
not that stressed.
You have to celebrate your successes.
Wow.
That's right.
Remember
Yeah.
times when you have picked up yourself, and remember your accomplishments. Sometimes we like to focus on the things we haven't done perfectly, or
Wow.
Right.
things that we didn't meet our expectations on. But we also need to highlight those happy moments and be kind to ourselves, encourage ourselves.
Be kind to ourselves.
Yeah.
I like that.
And
Be kind.
celebrate our accomplishments.
Yes.
That's right.
And it's true, because if you really look back in time, we have so many good things.
Yes.
But we kind of don't open that door. We kind of forget about those things.
Because
So-
sometimes we think that we're selfish by doing that. You know, if we are remembering all the good things that we did in the past, we tend to feel like that's very selfish of us talking about ourselves.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's that inner talk.
Be your own cheerleader.
Exactly.
That's right. Okay, we're going to celebrate now.
That is very important because we have to be our own cheerleader, and I think that's very powerful. Very powerful.
And I think it's also important to remember, if things do seem unmanageable and it's outside the scope of what you can handle, or friends and family, check in with your doctor.
That's right, yes.
Talk to your pastor. That's why these people are there. You're not
Exactly.
alone.
Help you.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people, in order for them to manage that stress, they also get involved in activities like church activities
Volunteering.
or volunteering activities. That kind of helps them cope with the stress, and
That's right.
and to see that they're able to help others. That's very important as well.
Also support groups.
Yes, support
Right?
groups.
Yes.
Where maybe some people are dealing with the same thing and they can relate
Definitely.
to each other, and because there's a lot of people like us out there, right?
Right. Yeah.
That sometimes have a little bit of stress, but sometimes they cannot cope with stress, and we all are here to help each other, right?
That's right. We're a community.
Yes.
We're not just individuals standing alone.
That's right.
Yes,
That's very
yes,
important.
And that's
Yes.
something that we all have to learn,
Yes.
that we're not alone.
That is correct. That's very important. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this important program. Thank you, Aida, for being here with
Thank
us
you for
about
having me.
talking to us about stress. And definitely, you're welcome to come back again,
Oh, it's
and
a
we can talk
pleasure.
about depression and all other things that people
Yes.
are dealing with in our society. And I think it's very important. So I just want to say thank you to our viewers for listening to this program. For following us on Facebook and on our YouTube. And there is a verse before we wrap up. I just want to share this verse that is in Psalm 56:3-4 that says, "When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise. In God I trust, and I am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?" And that is very important to everyone that is listening, that if we put our trust in God, and like our Aida was saying today, how important it is to meditate. And if we can meditate in that word, that we can put that trust into God, everything is going to be fine. Yes, we will have struggles, we will have difficult times, but our trust is in God, and He is the God of peace, and He will give us that peace. So I just want to leave you with that verse. And thank you so much, Aida. It's been a
Thank you
pleasure.
for being with us.
Yes,
I
yes.
love being
Yeah.
here.
And just remember that you can always follow us in Facebook and on our YouTube channel, and write us. We want to hear from you. It's been a pleasure, and just stay tuned for our next episode because it's going to be powerful.
See you soon, guys.
All right.
Bye.